me about Danny.
Yeah, it's a great question. You know, after a while when you have a dead kid, there's nothing new to say. So you don't have an opportunity to talk about your child as much. So I love that question. Thank you for asking. He was a great kid. He was adorable, had a beautiful smile. He would flirt all the time. We'd be in a restaurant and he'd flirt with the people around. They'd come up and say, "What a lovely child you have."
No one can say how many lives Danny Kaiser has saved. It's impossible to calculate.
You think you've saved some lives?
Well, I hope so. I mean, if we haven't saved lives, then transparency and information doesn't matter at all.
Danny was just 17 months old when his mother, Linda Ginzel, dropped him off at a state-licensed daycare. That day, Danny woke up from his nap in a portable crib. He grabbed the sides and began rocking it, causing those sides to collapse, trapping him. He went to the hospital but couldn't be saved. Danny's family and the daycare had no idea the federal government recalled that crib years earlier.
There was a defective product that the government knew it was defective, the manufacturer knew it was defective, daycare didn't know, we didn't know. But it wasn't an accident. It wasn't an accident, and it could have been known, and Danny would be alive today. And that's why we started Kids in Danger, because we couldn't have that knowledge. We couldn't live with that and not do something.
Linda and her husband made their life a mission to expose and improve the country's weak consumer protection laws. They formed a nonprofit, Kids in Danger.
Well, what's interesting is that, my husband and I, we didn't think, should we try to do something about this? Is it going to affect our family? Do we have the time? Do we have the money? Do we have the energy? We just thought, we have to do this. We can't let this happen to anybody else.
Kids in Danger and Danny have saved lives because of a 2008 law, the Consumer Product Safety Improvement Act, known as Danny's Law, meant to fix the problems. And it has in some ways, like new mandatory and design safety standards for infant and toddler products, and new rules for recalls to make them more readily known. But many flaws remain. The law created a website, saferproducts.gov, the place where the government tells the public it can file complaints and see recalls to protect your family and see if a product is unsafe before you buy. But our national investigative team discovered that the website doesn't reveal the real dangers.
There's so much more that could be done to give us a full, robust database of injury data so that we could prevent future injuries.
That's because it only includes reports filed by the public with the Consumer Product Safety Commission, but it doesn't include any report the CPSC decides doesn't have enough information or complaints made to the manufacturers. For example, the Fisher-Price Rock and Play has been tied to around 100 infant deaths, according to a reissued recall this month. That notice also says there have been 8 deaths since the original 2019 recall, but the Safer Products website only shows 3 total.
It's not anywhere near the full story. For every incident that's reported by a consumer, we have no idea how many hundreds could be behind that, right? Because even with a popular product where everyone learns about the hazards, like the Rock and Play, you still see just a fraction of those in Safer Products. And frankly, once the recall has been named, CPSC should make all the incidents that they have data on public, because they've already announced the recall. People already know there's nothing else to be hidden from the public.
To give you an idea of what's left out of the public database, we analyzed the saferproducts.gov website for information on 429 recalled products that had issues where consumers have died or have been injured. Through official recall notices, we know the federal government has linked those 429 products to 62 deaths, but a consumer searching this website would only be notified of 13 of those deaths, proving even if a company knows about more injuries and deaths, If no one files those here, they would remain a secret until the company decides to release that information. We also found nearly 1,600 injuries in those recalls, but saferproduct.gov only has information on 135 injuries, only 8% of all those the government or companies knew about.
The consumer doesn't know. And when you ask industry why their reports to CPSC can't be made public, they talk like we're all idiots. Oh, well, consumers won't know what to do with this information. You know, consumers can make the same decisions they may make. Oh, well, they could see the data and decide, well, I use it in a different way, that doesn't apply to me. They can look at it and say, I'm never using that product again, but they can make those decisions. It shouldn't be up to the businesses to tell us what we need to know about their unsafe products.
Do the manufacturers really think we're idiots, as you said, or are they scared about the information getting out there?
Well, I think they're scared about the information getting out, obviously, because it will show that many more incidents than we know about, even when there's a recall.
In June of 2021, the Consumer Product Safety Commission recalled a handheld clothing steamer, noting 106 injuries. The website shows no reports about any of those incidents. Another example, in September of 2022, the agency recalled Murphy beds after 62 injuries by the impact of the bed coming out of the wall, sometimes crushing people. Yet the website has no reports of any incidents. While the government's own public website for tracking dangerous products has large information gaps, it's still more than consumers would have known 15 years ago, thanks to Danny's Law, a law his parents wish wasn't necessary.
We shouldn't need it, but that's kind of utopian. That's like in a perfect world.
But is that idealistic?
It is. It's idealistic because it hasn't been possible.
But should it be possible?
Of course it should be possible.
Linda Ginzel knows their push for more transparency has made a difference. Their son Danny saved lives, but they want to see even more.
Is saferproducts.gov enough?
No, it's not enough. It's everything, nothing is enough. Do you see how many children continue to die? Do you see how many products continue to be out there that we don't have any idea how many dead or injured children there are? But it's something. It's more than what we had before, and what we have to do is just keep it's a marathon. This isn't a sprint.